Good evening, good evening, good evening from the Channel 9 Sports. From the Channel 9 studio, this is Sport Chat Mr. 33. I'm he, Mr. 33, and welcome into Monday night. And as always, we're going to start with the recap of Monday Night Raw. And so the first part of Raw was about Becky Lynch coming out, she started the show off. But soon as she gets there, she gets in a well, AJ Lee kicks off the Raw, and then Becky Lynch comes out and interrupts. So they go into a back and forth conversation. Uh, AJ gets under Becky's skin, and she starts to talk about, if I beat you, what, does that make me better than you? Am I, what I mean? Am I the GOAT? Because y'all know Becky. She be like, I'm the best because Sports Illustrated says so. So AJ used that against her, and she's like, all right, well, let's put this thing on the line. And so Becky decides to confirm the match at Elimination Chamber. So it's going to be Becky Lynch and AJ Lee for the belt at Elimination Chamber. But Becky said, listen, man, you thought, you coming into my world now. So, I ain't going to be able to, you better be careful what you ask for, pretty much. So that was an intriguing thing. So now there's, as we were stating before, they're going to add some things to the chamber, and this is one of the matches. Uh, so that was a good thing. We found out there's going to be a singles match besides the elimination chambers matches for the men and the women. So then we go into the actual match. The first match is for the tag team championships. The Usos versus Alpha Academy. Uh, the Alpha Academy, they came out blazing. Realize what's going on with you. They started off. Listen, man, Tozawa had an excellent match in this thing. Right, he was doing he was doing all the things that he used to do back in the days a few years ago before he mellowed out and became an Alpha Academy guy. The guy that you saw, that was the real Tozawa. Moonsaults and all of those type of things, the kicks and the high flying things. That's the Tozawa that comes from the other side of WWE. But then Jay was taking a lot of the bumps. Uh, then Jimmy started getting hit up. Then it all got loose. Otis comes in. Otis do the little caterpillar. Not the snake, like the what do you call those dudes? The dudes that used to wrestle with Rikishi, they dad. That was kind of funny when I sat there and watched that. But anyway, they did the caterpillar, and then Jimmy and Jay, they started to get themselves together. Then all of a sudden, they're doing double spears, the Usos, and as they continue to gain the control, they hit the 1D on Otis, got the pin, got the win. So the Usos defended the title successfully against the Alpha Academy. Then after that, they have an interview. Jay bigs up the Alpha Academy for the performance, which was good, but that was more. I'm telling y'all, that was more about Tozawa and and the agility that he showed. He showed that he can hang with a lot of these guys. Made me think about him in a Devon Evans type of situation in a singles match. I'm waiting to see that. But then they asked him about their singles competition. Jimmy told him go ahead and enter the elimination chamber qualifiers. Win that, win the belt. You're still gonna be the great tag team, but I want to see you win. So that, I guess that's Jimmy's telling them like, yo, I'm about to take off and be a dad, and you do what you do on the single side, and we're gonna rock this thing out. So that was a a nice little cut promo. Then the next segment was Liv Morgan came out and she was talking. Her and Dom was talking about she's the greatest winner ever. Dom is the greatest champ ever. Then Stephanie comes down. They had a whole. This ain't no disrespect to my Spanish speaking people, but they had a Bad Bunny segment, right? It was like, yo, they just spoke a whole conversation in Spanish, and Liv was like, what is she saying? And Dom was like, I got you, and he spoke to her in Spanish, and then he said, I know what she say, what she say. Well, what you say, Dom? And Stephanie said that I'm gonna tell you what you said. You ass. I'm laughing like, yo, she just disrespected her. And then Liv walked up out of there calling her a bitch, but in Spanish. You know what I mean? And then she got mad and slapped Dirty Dom. Like, yo, she called me a bitch, so I'm gonna slap you. You know how girls do. Girls get mad, they can't get to the girl, they get to the dude next to you. And, he walked off. She stormed off and, left the ring. But that was something about her trying to decide who she's going to choose the belt, choose her opponent for Mania. But she didn't make no decision yet, obviously. Um, that was just more of a conversation. Then we had the women's first elimination chamber qualifier match. This was between Rhea Ripley, Lyra Valkyria, and Ivy Now. Ivy Now, she started this thing on hot. When I say hot, she was doing all types. She looked at. I'm telling y'all, she looked like Jordan Grace. She power slamming, suplexing, all of these things to German suplexes, all of these things to both Lyra and Rhea. Uh, then Lyra caught, Lyra had a little moment, and then Rhea started to take over. She started kneeing people to the face, uh, clotheslining. Then Rhea hit Riptide, uh, and then she when she hit it, she hit it on Lyra, and then got the 3 count. So Rhea Ripley, she's advancing to the chamber match. The first woman on Raw to do it. So she defeats Live Valkyria Ivy Now. Uh, then we have a segment where Finn Balor, he's talking about he won a title match. He comes out and interrupts CM Punk's situation or his interview because CM Punk's supposed to be mad at him or whatever. And he's like, well, we can do this. Well, we can fight now. And he's like, yo, we're going to fight. And Adam Pearce like, no, we not. He like, listen. And so Punk tells Adam Pearce, yo, listen, man, I'm the champ. I can call some shots around here. And I want to whoop this dude real quick. So let's just have this match and do what we gotta do. And he like, you want to possibly ruin the Mania match? Okay. So Adam Pearce says, "All right, Punk, you got him at elimination chamber. So that's a new match." Yeah, but that's the thing, and that's why for me, realist, I like the SmackDown girls, right? Because even though the single women is not they're fresh and they're new, but it's not ran down already. Like you see you see what they did with Jade, right? She took out B-Fab. She took out Me Chin. That's who it was. It was Me Chin. That's who your girl was, realist. Me Chin. That's who it was. I told you I was gonna catch it sooner or later. But anyway, um, she took them out. Now they bring in Jordan Grace. I think they're preparing something between Jade and Charlotte. They're not gonna touch Lash in them yet, right? Or Julia. Kiana James, maybe, right? So there's all these new faces. You notice I didn't mention Naya. Um, but like I said, Julia, Kiana James, Jordan Grace, Lash Legend, all four of them, they all just came from NXT within the last year. So they got the new faces, right? If you go over to Raw, you got Rhea, you got Io, you got the only the newest faces over there is Nikki Bella. Uh, you got Oscar and Kyrie. You got all of those old faces. Becky, Maxine is like one of the newest faces, but she's been there. They don't give Ivy. I think they need to give Ivy now some run. The way she performed tonight, she showed that she can do some things with that belt, and she's from that Chad Gable wrestling area, not the area itself, but you can tell she looks just. I'm telling you, she looked like Jordan Grace, but then if you see how her stature, how tall she is, you would think of Chad Gable. So you know when it comes, like I said, when it comes to everybody loves Raw because they got Roman, they got Punk, they got Jay, they got all of those, they got Gunther, they got all of them. But on the women's side, it's just as bland as the SmackDown men's side because they ran it out. It's unplayed out already, right? Even with the new feud that they got between Cody Jacob and Drew McIntyre, it's still it's not fresh. It's not reviving the brand, right? You got the Shinsei Nakamura's, you got the terrible MFT tag team run. They killed the White Six, right? It's they just many people gonna say it's just the revving up to WrestleMania, but this is not it. So now when you get like a Finn Balor match, versus CM Punk, that's going to be a good match. When you get a Alpha Academy looking good against the Usos, they might say, you know what, we're going to give them a little bit more run. Um, but when it comes to Becky just holding her place because she's older and they ain't got nothing new now. Will they give AJ that run? We don't know. We're gonna find that out at the elimination chamber. That's for the belt. So we'll find that out sooner or later. Oh yeah, and that little segment with with Punk talking about he gonna fight Finn Balor. He tried to take a shot at Roman. I'm like, yo, you taking a shot at somebody that's talking about he don't like he mad because he doing what he say? He fears that he can't beat him or something. I said, man, this dude, you taking a shot at the dude. You supposed to took your shot last week when he was in your face. You did some old sucker move and not say it and trying to say something now. That's not even cute. That's not even what this thing is about. So, it's super crazy. But but like I said, they trying to make him they trying to make Punk relevant. They trying to make him like the head of this group or the head of the show. And it was okay, but not really. But anyway, so the next match is gonna be Maxine Dupri versus Natty. For those of you that don't know, it was Natty that cost Maxine Dupri her rematch against Becky Lynch, which she tried to reclaim the belt. And then, all hell broke loose. But okay, before the belt, Natty attacks Maxine. Uh, then as the match goes, well, no, the match didn't even go because Natty was sitting there trying to just punish her, and then all of a sudden, we see Maxine in the sharpshooter on the table or on the commentary table. She tried to whoop her. Then AJ came for the save, and then then Becky attacks AJ, and then they had a free for all, which probably will be a tag team match next week on Raw between AJ, Maxine, Natty, and Becky Lynch. So that match didn't even happen. You know what I mean? But Natty's showing this aggression, like she's upset with the Young Bloods because I don't know why she's mad at her. She felt like she disrespected her or something. I don't know. But Natty's on a warpath. But this is the Natty from like 2013 or 14 or something like that, like 10 years ago. So so we don't know. Then we had a unique match. We had Javon Evans versus the original El Grande Americano versus Rayon Bravo. Uh, Rayo and Bravo started off early on Javon. They try to jump in and out the ring. He got his advantage. He tags in the original Chad Gable, the original American Grande. Uh, then as Chad Gable was going up to the top rope, he gets pushed off the rope. Uh, then as he gets pushed off the rope, Bravo try to go up for the goes up to the top rope. Yo, when Javon Evans caught this OG cutter, it was so awesome. I need y'all to take a look at it. And then as he get the OG cutter in the middle, in midair, the original Americano, he just dove off the top on the other side with a headbutt. They got the 3 count. So the original Grande Americano, Javon wins the match. Then they try to attack him later, but they got him up out of there. They try to unmask the original Grande Americano. Then he reversed it and tried to unmask one of those other Americano Grandes or Grande Americanos. And then that's how they left. They started speaking fake Spanish, and none of them are Spanish. But that's another story for another day. You know what I'm saying? So then we got the men's elimination chamber. The men's elimination chamber was between Penta, LA Knight, and Austin Theory. Side note, they spoke about Braun Breaker's injury. They tried to say that Braun Breaker's injury occurred as he was doing some weightlifting, and he was trying to lift 500 pounds or something like that. So they confirmed that Braun Breaker is injured. They said it was life changing, but it's not. It's not life altering for a guy like Braun Breaker. Meaning he's gonna be out for a while, but he'll probably be back. That's the notion that they were trying to give. But Braun Breaker is out. So keep that in mind. Braun Breaker is out, right? Okay, cool. So LA Knight and Penta, the action starts off all 3 different ways. LA Knight is trying to get at Austin Theory. Penta's trying to get at both of them, trying to gain control. And then as Austin Theory starts to lose control, we see the Vision come out. Logan Paul, Bronson Reed. They was told not to come out, but they came out anyway. Uh, Bronson Reed hits LA Knight with a tsunami, and then Adam Pearce tells them to get the hell up out of here. Uh, Theory is fighting Penta outside by the table. Then, as Austin Theory is fighting at the table, some guy, the hooded dude came out. The hooded dude came out and super kicked Austin Theory. And then he curb stomped him. So as he doing all that, Logan Paul and Bronson chasing him. Uh, LA Knight hits a BFT to Austin Theory and gets the 3 count. So that's how LA Knight advances to the elimination chamber. So far we got Randy Orton and we got LA Knight. We know that Jimmy's gonna be we know that Jimmy's gonna be in the next one. But tonight it was about LA Knight. So LA Knight was one of the six participants in the elimination chamber. So this is what they got for next week though. So far, they got Bailey versus Oscar. They got Natalie in an elimination qualifying match. They're gonna have Javon Evans versus Gunther. Dom is in an elimination chamber match. Uh, and that's it. That's what they got for right now. They didn't list the whole list, but wow, Javon Evans versus Gunther. I'm curious how that's gonna go. I think I don't even know how that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know how that's gonna go. But yeah. But this was pretty much the resume. So now the question is, who do we think that this Mask Man is? We know it ain't Austin Theory now, right? Because last time it was on Braun Breaker, and we thought it was Austin Theory. It can't be Logan Paul because Logan Paul chased the Masked Man. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't who we thought it was. Now, many people thinking it is Adam Pearce, but we know it ain't Adam Pearce because he was right there too. So who could it possibly be? That's a question that I want want some of you to think of. They trying to say it was Montez Ford. That man was pale, so it can't be Montez. Pale and brown skin don't look the same unless he putting some bleach on his arm, but it don't look right. Excuse me. So that's not it. That's not who it was. Um, your guess is as good as mine. I have a thought. I have an idea, right? And I'm gonna just say it's somebody that used to rock with somebody on that group. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Somebody's mad at somebody. Maybe maybe somebody mad at Paul Heyman. Maybe somebody's mad at Braun Breaker. Maybe somebody's mad at Austin Theory. Y'all just sit there. If you've been watching wrestling, think about all the recent people that's been around, and y'all tell me who y'all think it is. I have an idea. I don't want to say it because everybody, oh, that's who it is. You know what I mean? But this person ain't been seen in a while, and if he was seen, you probably won't think it was him. But you got to put some pieces together just because they ain't been around one, and maybe got a grudge against this other person. So like I said, all in all, the show was pretty. The show was good. Like I said, shout out to Tozawa. Shout out to Prez because Prez was just talking about Tozawa on Friday, and he came right today. He came right on time, and Monday he showed out today. They had a 2.75 pin count. The Usos could have lost the belt if he could have lost that belt if that hand would have went down. That's how close. That's how close they kicked out of that pin. You know what I mean? And it was all because Tozawa was doing the moonsault. So Tozawa was doing the quick tag to Otis. Otis was doing the Mark Henry slam, the world's strongest slam. He doing the worm and the caterpillar. They don't call it the worm. They call it the caterpillar because it's big Otis, right? And they did enough to make themselves look relevant tonight. They did enough to say, hey, we can see y'all possibly in a tag team run, title run. Will it happen? I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen if Jay gets this elimination chamber thing. Like I said, I think Jimmy get ready to go on paternity leave, so that's going to leave the men's tag team title up for grabs. We did see the War Raiders a couple weeks ago, but Over Family took them out, so I don't know what happened with them. We saw the New Day. Uh, we see the Alpha Academy, and I haven't seen no new teams. But I did really like the Javon and American Grande tag team. I think they worked well together. I think they should be a new tag team just to get uh, a Grande Americano back into the swing of things, the original one. If he's the power and Javon Evans is like a thunder and lightning type situation, right? A Grande Americano could bring the thunder, and what you call it could bring the lightning. Javon Evans, right? Just to get him a relatively new identity, not a new identity, but a run with something, right? Because I think the Usos is going to give the belt up because they, like I say, going on paternity leave, so it's going to be up for grabs. So I wouldn't be shocked if they did with Javon Evans and Grande Americano, what they did with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for a little bit until somebody comes in to like actually dominate the tag team division. You know what I mean? So that would be. Now I don't think. Yeah, wow. I just had a flash like it was JD McDonough, but he too short for it to be the masked man. So it's not JD McDonough. My bad. But I think that would be a nice little run for them, right? And then, but I can't see that happen. Well, yeah, because he did dissolve himself from the Alpha Academy because the Alpha Academy now is like Maxine, Tozawa, and Otis. So he's like a single free agent, the Chad Gable Grande Americano guy. So that would be a nice turnaround. Uh, I guess Obafemi, like I said, they talking about him. I guess he's a free agent because he's going from show to show. So he can do whatever he pleases when he pleases. Uh, but big win for Rhea to get herself in the elimination chamber match. Uh, good win for LA Knight. He's trying to get his confidence back. He ain't been in wrestling for a while. He had an okay showing at the Rumble. So they trying to get him back relevant. The crowd still loves him. Things like that. We got to see what they're going to do with Dirty Dom. I want to see Dirty Dom and Finn Balor fight. That might be a WrestleMania match for me. You know what I mean, for the belt, because I don't. They just need to do something with the Judgment Day because he's like tonight was like, yo, I don't feel like the family's behind me. You know what I mean? I don't feel like we're family right now because he's like, you keep trying to get Punk. This is what Dirty Dom said. You trying to get Punk, and that window's getting ready to close on you, homie. They ain't trying to ruin that Mania match for you. You ain't that guy. You're like, damn, that's how you feel. I'm paraphrasing, like, damn, that's how you feel. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't feel comfortable around y'all no more. He dipped off, and that's when he went out there and challenged Punk to the match. And Punk like, whatever. I want to see you anyway. I want my flesh. I want my flesh and skin from you. You know what I mean? So it's revving up now, right? Like I said, we just seen we see what would I say we're gonna be in the elimination chamber match next week? I just forgot that fast. Hold on one second. I gotta find out who I said. I know I said Gunther's gonna fight this guy. Uh Gunther's gonna fight Javon Evans. Dirty Dom is gonna be in a qualifying match. Uh and I said for the women, Natty's gonna be in an elimination chamber. I don't know if they're trying to say they're gonna win. Those two gonna win. I don't know, but they're gonna be involved with the elimination chamber match. So but now that this has been confirmed, we see Paul Heyman trying to keep the vision in line. He's trying to keep them together, but now they got somebody else trying to get them. They got the masked man trying to take out other people. I thought they were going to say that the masked man got Braun Breaker while he was sleeping type thing, but that's not what happened. So you know, can't wait till they reveal who the masked man is. So that way, that could be something different. But by that time, I think the vision will be over because Braun is going to be out for a while. Maybe if Seth comes back by then, he ain't gonna really have nobody to pound out on. He gonna do what LA Knight do and chase the whole Vision group itself. You know what I'm saying? But that's not because Braun was the leader. Braun Breaker was the leader. Everybody else just followed suit because they was a little scared of him. And then Paul Heyman added Logan Paul. Then Austin Theory came. So he ain't got no gripe with them per se, but he definitely got a gripe with Braun Breaker. But now that Braun Breaker's out, that's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. And I think that's going to take some of the elimination chamber matches out because I thought Braun was going to get there by hook or crook. I thought one of them was gonna make it, and then that masked man gonna get them stomped out and get them eliminated like they did Braun Breaker at the Rumble. So that might be possible. Maybe Bronson Reed gets in there because Austin Theory just lost his opportunity. So on Friday we know that Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu, and Cody Rhodes is fighting in the men's elimination chamber match. Uh, we know Jade is gonna fight Jordan Grace for the women's championship. We know that Rhea and them is gonna fight. Rhea Io gonna fight Lash and Nia for the belt. So this Friday is gonna be it's gonna be a great show for SmackDown because they putting up elimination chamber qualifications. They putting up the women's championship. They putting up the women's tag team championship, and that's just the beginning. I don't even know which women is going to fight. I think they said it, but I can't recall it right now. Let me see if I can find it for y'all to see who's going to be fighting in a SmackDown Elimination Chamber match next week. Because, like I said, I just gave you those three matches for next Friday, and like I said, because it's going to be three women, there's going to be three groups, three winners from SmackDown, and three winners from Raw. So it's going to be, it's going to be. Oh, and SmackDown is going to be it's going to be on Sci-Fi because the Winter Olympics, Friday the 13th. So something crazy might happen. It may be a title that changes hands, right? Who knows? Who knows? Let me see if I can pull this up and see what's happening. Uh, yep, Jordan Grace. I mentioned that. Uh, I mentioned that. Oh, the women's qualifying matches: Julia, Zelina Vega, and Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss. So we gonna see which
I'm
one.
not quite sure how to help you with that.
I ain't call you. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Miss Bliss to win that. I'm gonna go with Jade to retain the belt. I don't know if you can have a. I'm gonna take a wild shot. Sami Zayn gonna win because Drew gonna get involved. Then they're gonna turn it around and put it a triple threat match, and for Jacob and Cody. So those are my three predictions. As much as I want Nia and Lash to win, I think they're gonna hold on to. No, I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with Nia and Lash winning. I'm gonna just go with it. My mind is telling me they don't want Rhea and them to lose the belt, but I'm just going with the heartfelt Nia and Lash. I just think Nia she's been working hard enough to have a some type of belt run. You know what I mean? We see they gave it to Julia. We see they gave it to Stephanie when she came in. Lyra had two belts, so why not do it for Lash Legend? So I'm gonna predict Nia and Lash to win the belts, but I'm not I'm not hanging my hat on it. If it happens, that's great. If it doesn't, I won't be surprised because there's still those two are still name brand, and then they can run. But I can see, but I would like to see Nia and them run back and forth from place to place, right? And then they could fight a Raquel, and Roxanne. See what I'm saying? Things like that to give them the notoriety, give Lash the run that she's been earning over the past couple of weeks in events. So I would like to see that. I'm I hope that happens, but in my mind, I'm going against my heart is going against my mind because my mind said it's going to be Rhea and Io, but I want Nia and Lash to win just to have something new. Like Willis was saying, we got to get something new and fresh up there, and I think that Nia and Lash will be something new. You know what I mean? Just to get something to the Mania scene. I don't know what tag team would they would fight by then, but it would be an interesting, an interesting new look for them. So I would go with that match. So Friday, I'm going with that. I'm going against the grain, Nia and Lash. I'm going with Miss Bliss to win the Women's Elimination Chamber. Jade is going to retain. Sammy's going to win, and I think they're going to put a triple threat match together because I think some way, shape, or form, Drew's going to get involved, or one of them going to get. Well, Randy don't need to get involved. He's already at the Elimination Chamber. So one of them is going to get caught in something. Sammy going to win, and then they're going to say, you know what, Drew and Cody, y'all fight him at the chamber for the belt, triple threat in a Hell in a Cell match, and I mean in a cage or something like that. I'll go with that. So those are my picks for next week. We'll probably see Carmelo Hayes put the U.S. belt up again. We'll probably have some impromptu matches as well. But that's what I'm going with for this week or for Friday anyhow to see how that goes and where it's going to go. Yeah, but as far as the Raw tonight, it wasn't blockbuster esque. It wasn't something to write home about, but it was some good action. It was good. It was some good wrestling. It was some good you know what I mean. Anytime we get to see Javon do some work, that's a plus. You know, but Chad Gable looked pretty good. It's like he's still working out. Them suplexes is like a vintage Chad Gable, right? So it was good to see him out there. I thought he was going to unmask one of the guys, but he didn't. They got up out of there. You know what I mean? We got to see the Usos fight, like I said, but Tozawa and them to the Alpha Academy held their own. So it wasn't no scrub. It wasn't like how they just manhandled the New Day. It wasn't that at all. So it was a good win. It was a good win for them, but it was more of a showing for the Alpha Academy. And Maxine wasn't out there because she had to take care of business. Well, she thought she was going to take care of business. Natty was trying to put her out. She gave her the sharpshooter on the announce table, all that. So, but that tag team match will probably come, like I said, next Monday. Maxine and AJ, Becky Lynch and Natty. I can see that happening. Uh, but like I said, that was pretty much the gist of what happened in. Nah, they was trying to take the mask off. Realist, the fake Americano Grandes was trying to take the mask off. He flipped it and tried to take one of their mask off, and they dipped up out of there. They scattered up out of there like dee dee dee. So they got up out of there real quick. But he did the flying headbutt, so I know who it was. And then when he do the gut wrench suplex, I'm like, this is him right there. And he's swole out in the yeah. Listen, that was long overdue. This was like long overdue. I won't be surprised if she turn around and flip out on Becky like in the Royal Rumble when Becky tried to toss out. Natty said, "All right, you keep playing with me," and Natty turned around, tossed the ass right out the ring. So I would not be surprised if that happens. You know what I mean? But it was long overdue. She kept being nice and prissy. Every time I think about Natty, I think about the Total Divas days, and she trying to be all cool with everybody. Nah, man, you got to take somebody out. Gotta pull a Naomi right now. And I think if she pulls a Naomi, she might could run with that thing. You run with that. I would nah, they ain't gonna do that though. I would like if it wasn't close to WrestleMania, I wouldn't have been surprised if they just told Natty to go ahead and fight Stephanie Vaquer and she takes the belt from her. I wouldn't be, you know what I mean? But it's too close to Mania. So I don't think they want the belt to change that many times. You see what I'm saying? But if this was like going towards SummerSlam or something like that, that would have been it. I would have said, yeah, they're gonna give Natty that belt. Or they would have gave Natty the Intercontinental belt. I think Natty is really shooting for the Intercontinental belt. To be honest with you, that's why she was training Maxine Dupree so she can get the belt. And then when she lost the belt, she got mad, and now she want to take it out on Becky. So, but we don't even know if maybe they get ready to do an AJ and the Natty matchup. You know what I mean? AJ the good girl, Natty the bad girl, and they may do that coming up soon before Mania. Maybe at Mania. I don't. Nah, I can't see that at Mania. That's not really an attractive thing, but it would be like a flashback, because AJ was from back then and Natty's from back then. So I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. I just don't think it would be as attractive as we would want it to be. Because it's like, damn, we going back in time. We've seen this match before, AJ versus Natty. You know what I'm saying? This was like 10, 11, 12 years ago, but we saw that match. So it's possible that that would happen because after that, there's like, what else is AJ here for? They're not going to let her go for the, if AJ was to fight Rhea, that wouldn't happen. Maybe, like I said, if she was to fight Stephanie Vaquer, maybe, I don't know, but I don't think they want to do that. That's two good girls. They don't want that. They're not putting baby faces in a match together. They're gonna make the fans choose, and they're like, nah, this shit trash. They ain't doing that for a while. So, you know, so AJ probably just going for the Intercontinental belt and then maybe fight Natty afterwards. Who knows? But what else we saw tonight? You see, good to talk smack. You want to know what happened to AJ Dragon Lee? I punished him. Yeah, like I'm just intrigued to see how he's mad because he didn't get the win at. He said he should have got automatically when he beat Goldberg and people like that to the elimination chamber, but he mad because he got to do qualifying matches. I'm like, that's different. You got to fight. You beating up people that's not even working with them no more. That don't count. So but this is gonna be this is like I said. I don't care how they put it. This is going to be a good next couple of weeks. We get to see who's going to fill out all these spots, right? Well, next week is Valentine weekend, so by the time that happens, at the week after that, what's that? The 21st. By the 21st, we're gonna know who's doing what, and then that next weekend, that 27th, the 27th. We'll know who's fighting whom, what's going on, and then there'll probably be like a lull in both shows of Raw and SmackDown. But they're going to try to get everybody to participate in like a little free fall for the elimination chamber. And then, like I said, we already know who Roman picked, so this is all about Drew. And for the women, we don't know who Liv ain't picked nobody yet, so that's like a free. That's still in the air. So we're gonna sit back and wait and see what happens as far as that goes. But like I said, Friday night is gonna be it. We're gonna find out what's going on over there. Friday night is also the beginning of All Star Weekend. I gotta explain all that Friday. I'll explain all of that Friday because they got new in the NBA. They got new things and new situations going on as far as the NBA versus the world, and a lot of key injuries has occurred. The reigning MVP is out. Giannis Antetokounmpo is out, so they have to replace a couple of those guys for the world team. And so we'll see. We'll, like I said before, when Friday comes, I'll have all that information. I think the last game in the NBA this week before the official All Star break is Thursday night. So I will have all of that information for you Friday. But speaking of the NBA, let me go ahead and look this thing up. Give y'all some scores and highlights. Matter of fact, I've been on this thing so long. I gotta refresh it. Uh, as we do normally, we go from the bottom. Why is this on? Yeah, I'm about to say it's February 9th. Yeah. What are you here for? Uh, some crazy incidents happened today. We're gonna start from Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, the Nets hosted the Chicago Bulls. The Nets get the 123 to 115 win. Uh, with the win, Brooklyn goes to 15 and 37. Chicago lost, gets them to 24 and 30. Uh, in Charlotte, a wild night in Charlotte. The Hornets host the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons get a 110 to 104 victory. But in this game, there was a fight. And I ain't talking about not the typical fight. Now it wasn't the Malice in the Palace, but we seen some fists thrown. We seen some people get mushed in their face. We see people come off the bench. We seen a lot of things happen, and I will probably be reporting who got suspended tomorrow. I will have it on the community wall. Anybody that got suspended from this thing, but I know for sure the normal culprit, which would be Isaiah Stewart. I'm glad Word ain't here because he probably felt I was targeting the team. But Isaiah Stewart is going to be more than likely suspended for a game for leaving the bench to help his teammate when somebody try to jump on him. But they will probably suspend him for a game. But I'll have that information. But anyway, with the win, the Pistons go to 39 and 13. The Hornets go to 25 and 29 with the loss. In Orlando, the Magic host the Milwaukee Bucks. The Magic with the 118 to 99 win. With the win, the Magic go to 28 and 24. With the loss, Milwaukee goes to 21 and 30. In Miami, the Heat host the Utah Jazz. The Jazz get the 115 to 111 win. With the win, the Jazz go to 17 and 37. With the loss, Miami goes to 28 and 27. In New Orleans, the Pelicans host the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings lose game 120 to 94. With the win, the Pelicans go to 15 and 40. With the loss, the Kings go to 12 and 43. In Minnesota, the Timberwolves host the Hawks, and the T-Wolves get the 138 to 116 win. There was an altercation in this game as well. This was more of a tug of war as Nas Reed and Okoye. If I'm mispronouncing the name, I apologize. They got into an altercation. Nas Reed got thrown on the floor. He got up. The Atlanta Hawk grabbed him. Nas Reed tried to grab him back, and they was tugging each other. So I don't know if there's going to be suspensions from this game, but if there are, of course, I will have the information for you. But the win, the T Wolves go to 33 and 22. With the loss, Atlanta goes to 26 and 29. Uh, in Denver, the Nuggets Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavaliers get 119 to 117 win. With the win, they go to 33 and 21. With the loss, the Nuggets go 30 for 20. Uh, this game is probably over, but it says 14 seconds. Let me click on it to see if this is accurate. I think it should be over though. Yes, it's over. Portland Trailblazers hosted the Philadelphia 76ers, but the Trailblazers get the 135 to 118 win. With the win, Portland goes to 25-28. With the loss, Philly goes to 30-22. Well, since I'm here, you see the leading scorers for both teams. Tyrese Maxey had 30. Kamara had 30 for the Trailblazers. Uh, Avija, the All Star, got 8 assists. Andre Drummond led the team with assists to 5. That's crazy. That speaks volumes. So Drummond led the team with 7 boards and 5 assists. V just led the team with 10 rebounds and 8 points. I mean 8 assists. So like I said, good win for Trailblazers. But that game is a final 35 to 118. Where I was at. Okay. Uh in in San Francisco, the Warriors hosted the Grizzlies. The Warriors get the 114 to 113 win. With the win, the Warriors go to 28-25. With the loss, the Grizzlies go to 20-31. And finally, in LA, the Lakers are hosting the Thunder. Let's see if that time is accurate. It might be a little bit less than that. No, it says 246. Uh the Lakers are down 109 and 101. Isaiah Joe is leading the team with 19. LeBron is leading his team with 20 points, 7 assists. Uh, and that's with 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. So those are all the scores, and we saw a little bit of stats tonight. So that's that's the gist of it. Like I said, the NFL is over, so we're gonna be doing a little bit more of basketball now because there's no more football to talk about. We may do Sunday night games just to get some NBA attraction over here, or Tuesday night game, whatever. Like I said, I just don't want to give y'all the game that's looked like the 135 to 118 I just showed y'all. That's a blowout. People get disinterested in blowouts. They want to see games with or hear and talk about games that are close and down to the wire. At least when they might lose by 6, but it's 6 points. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they took the shot, they might have missed the shot, got fouled in the last couple of seconds. The score might go from 2 to 6, things like that. So, I'm in the works of that. I'm trying to be better at it and not, get the channel disinterested or get people disinterested because of the way the games are being called. So, but we'll figure this out going down the road. But like I said, even after the All-Star break, the All-Star break starts at Thursday night, so they probably won't play or resume again. Let's take a look at it real quick. Right? If we go over here and look at the schedule, right? We're gonna go to scores. Let's go to scores. Right? Okay, let it flip all the way over to February, right? So I, I said 12th. The 13th is the All-Star break, right? So you got the 13th. And let's look at the 19th. There probably no games on the 19th. That's when the games come back. So from the 12th to the 19th, that's a whole week. So it won't be no games for a whole week in the NBA. So we'll probably just be talking about whatever comes to mind after uh, Raw and SmackDown conversations. We may talk about the All Star game. I don't even know if I want to do. I don't even know, right? But that's just the lull of the weekend, right? And then all of these games is happening in one day. So, like I said, that's just what's going on as far as the world of sports. Um, as always, the scores and the stats, they were brought to you by the 9%. We're better you, a better us. And like I said, we'll be back Friday night to talk about what happened in those matches. We got two championship matches on SmackDown. We got two elimination chamber matches. We'll probably have three championship matches because y'all know Carmelo is going to do the U.S. Open Challenge thing. So we should have three championship matches, two elimination chamber qualifying matches, one for the men, one for the women, maybe a couple of impromptu matches then to get you through the day. So, with that being said, I appreciate Realers being here and anybody else that was in the background, in the cuts. But we did remember the most important thing is that we remember it was Me Chin. I knew it was somebody. I'm like, damn, it's somebody. But it was Me Chin. But you better be careful because that's Keith Lee lady now. I wouldn't want to fight that dude. Not for that thing, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to Realist and shout out to everybody that was in the cuts in the background, listening to the conversation. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the recap. Uh we'll be back, like I said, we'll be back Friday. Anything impromptu, I'll try to get it. I'll try to get it out there before I go live or whatever the case may be. If not, just if you got the alert, you get the alert. I don't I'll call a game by myself. I don't be caring, but what I mean. I just try to do things that make sure that people see that the sports chat is not just about one sport. It's about all the sports. We did a football game. I did a basketball game already. I think I've even done a baseball game before, if I'm not mistaken. I think I have. So all of these things will be available to us, and I'm going to do my best to make it available to you. But like I said, with that being said, from the Channel 9 studio, this is Mr. 33. I'm signing off. I appreciate everybody coming through. I'll see you guys Friday.